And here's the one that I have used for years, right? So if I'm pitching to Carl, I'll say, Carl, look, and actually I have pitched to Carl recently and he bought, so it worked.
So this is real time advice.
So it's good. Upfront contract, UFC. And this is, again, it doesn't get used enough. I think partly because some people maybe don't feel comfortable using it, but the upfront contract is really simple. And here's the one that I have used for years, right? So if I'm pitching to Carl, I'll say, Carl, look, and actually I have pitched to Carl recently and he bought, so it worked.
So this is real time advice.
So it's good. Typically these calls go one of two ways. One is like, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and that's so I can understand your business better. Here's what I've learned so far. And if after 15 or so minutes, we deem that you might not be a good fit, tell you what, I'm going to give you some time back because you're a busy guy. Right, we're going to end the call there. I'm going to part ways. I'm not going to chase you around the internet or bother you. We're just going to part ways because I respect you and your time. Right? But if we do agree that this is going to be a good fit, right, we're going to book in next steps. And typically what that looks like is meeting these other three people who I've actually already identified in your team, because I think they would typically be the buyers for a solution like ours. But we're going to agree next steps. And what that would look like is a more detailed demo with them. Just as an example, by the way, that might not necessarily be the case for you guys. Like, the upfront contract gives you permission to let someone go and give them their time back, and you will earn their respect, and they might come back to you in the future time because of that. But also it allows you to connect the wagons, and we call it BAM FAM, book a meeting from a meeting, because you want to be linking to the next meeting, right? And that's where you start to multi-thread and move the deal forward. That is another key part of the setup that I see just people don't do for some reason. You don't have to do it in the way I just articulated. And then really simply set the agenda for the call. Here's what we're going to cover today, and get their buy-in. Like, make sure they don't just say, here's what I want to cover. Hey, how's that sound for you? Anything you'd like to change? Anything I've missed? And then you can start to go into the discovery. So it sounds like a lot of work, and I've timed this with our conversational intelligence tool that we use, that all of that can be done in under 2 minutes. But the rewards that it will give you could be huge.